Welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a truly fascinating transformation story unfolding right on the streets of India today. We're talking about Olectra GreenTech. I mean, imagine a company completely shifting gears, literally, pivoting from being this traditional behind-the-scenes industrial supplier to suddenly becoming one of India's absolute leading manufacturers of electric buses. It's a massive, dramatic pivot. And it's happening exactly as the entire country pushes to replace all those noisy, polluting diesel public buses with sleek, zero-emission alternatives. It's a huge logistical and engineering puzzle, right? And Olectra is sitting right at the center of it.
Okay, so let's map out our journey for this explainer. First up, we'll look at the big macro trend, the green mobility shift. Then, we'll see what Olectra actually does on a day-to-day basis. After that, we're unpacking their financial growth engine, impartially mapping out the stock's trend, and finally, taking a look at the road ahead. Let's get right into it.
All right, part one, the green mobility shift, fueling the zero-emission transition.
So, the macro trigger driving Olectra's incredible momentum isn't actually just consumer demand. It's aggressive central government policy. We're looking at major initiatives like the PM e-bus SEO scheme, which is just accelerating the rollout of clean transit across states and municipalities. Combine that with the Prime Minister's clear directives for rapid EV adoption in public transport. So what you should really take away from this is that Olectra isn't just your standard automotive stock. For investors, it's acting as a direct operational play on India's highly scalable clean energy infrastructure. These government tailwinds are absolutely massive for their market visibility.
Now, I want you to just think about this single massive number. Over 10,000. That is Olectra's active electric bus order book right now. And to be clear, we aren't talking about some speculative concepts drawn on a whiteboard. We are talking about the sheer physical momentum of over 10,000 heavy-duty transit vehicles ordered by state and municipal boards. To put that into perspective for you, replacing just one single heavy-duty diesel bus with an electric one can eliminate roughly 50 to 70 tons of carbon dioxide emissions every single year. So multiply that by 10,000. You really start to see the true physical scale of this transition. This is the exact fleet delivery trigger that analysts are watching like a hawk.
Moving on to part two, what Olectra actually does, the business engine. You know, it's so easy to get totally swept up in all the EV hype out there. So I just want to pause for a second and re-anchor us with a super simple question. What does Olectra actually do? If you're a beginner looking at this sector, it's so vital to just step away from the buzzwords and understand the actual daily operations. And here is where it gets really interesting. This illustrates their unique dual corporate structure. On the left, we've got the electric vehicle division. This is the flashier side, right? Manufacturing high-capacity battery-powered buses, electric three-wheelers, and heavy transport trucks. But look at the right side. You have their legacy insulator division. For over 2 decades, they've been building high-tech composite polymer insulators for high-voltage power transmission grids. Why does this matter? Well, their deep, long-standing history in heavy electrical transmission directly supports and stabilizes their modern heavy transport engineering. Basically, these guys deeply understand big electrical loads. So where does their competitive edge actually come from? Strategic partnerships. First, they have this major technological tie-up with BYD, who are an absolute global pioneer in EV tech. They've also forged a high-impact digital engineering partnership with the Salt Systems, basically to modernize their whole manufacturing workflow. Behind the scenes, they're backed by the massive financial backbone of their parent company, the MEIL Group. And importantly, they focus heavily on localized component sourcing and using advanced thermally managed batteries that are specifically optimized for Indian road conditions. It's this exact robust framework that really justifies their premium status in the market right now. All of that strategic positioning translates perfectly into this staggering figure, an 8,200 crore rupee consolidated order book. That number is basically the financial representation of those 10,000 buses we talked about a minute ago. For anyone looking at the financials, the absolute biggest takeaway here is revenue predictability. This backlog gives the company phenomenal visibility for the next 2 to 3 years of manufacturing activity. It effectively insulates them from a lot of the short-term volatility in the broader industry.
Okay, let's turn to part three, the financial growth engine, unpacking the momentum.
If we look over a 5-year perspective, Olectra has achieved a seriously stellar compounded net profit growth rate of 67.13%. That is rapid. That is consistent scaling. They aren't just growing their top-line revenue. They are massively compounding their bottom-line profitability as they transition from a smaller component player into a premium mobility leader. And zooming right into their most recent performance for Q3 FY26, operational revenue surged to 664 crore rupees. That is a huge 28.9% increase year over year. The execution phase is clearly ramping up here. You're actually seeing their active orders physically turning into dispatched units. Let's break down these core metrics a bit. So while revenue was surging, the Q3 FY26 net profit held incredibly strong at 47 crore rupees. Look at that 3-year trailing EPS growth. Earnings per share, which is basically the company's profit divided by its outstanding shares, it's averaging an expansion of 32% per annum. They are clearly deploying shareholder money productively, and you can see that with a healthy trailing return on equity, or ROE, of 14.3%. And maybe the most important piece, despite the short-term pressures of product customization and local cost dynamics, their core operational profitability, that EBITDA margin, stayed extremely resilient at 14.1%. Management actually projects their long-term operational EBITDA to stabilize between 10% and 12% as mass manufacturing really hits its peak.
All right, part 4, mapping the stock trend, technical analysis of Olectra.
As of the data we pulled from our sources, the equity is trading right around 1,243 rupees. Now that means it is sitting roughly 27% below its 52-week peak of 1,714 rupees. What this really tells us is that the stock is currently in a long-term capital accumulation phase. After having a pretty exceptional run, it's just experiencing a period of normal market consolidation. To really wrap our heads around this consolidation, we need to look at the 200-day moving average. This is just a long-term technical indicator that represents the average closing price over the last 200 days, and it often acts as a structural support base for a stock. Right now, Olectra's stock is trading exactly in line with its primary 200 DMA zone, meaning it seems to be building a solid technical floor right around here. Looking impartially at the sourced technical ratings, the stock paints a pretty compelling, objective picture. EPS strength is rated as good at 80, which is totally backed by that impressive 3-year profit compounding we talked about. Price strength is currently fair at 70, reflecting its recent consolidation off the highs, but it still acknowledges that exceptional multi-year return pattern. And buyer demand? That is rated great at an A, showing us that the institutional footprints remain super stable. And honestly, the reason behind that strong buyer demand becomes crystal clear when we examine the equity layout. Over 50% of the company is held by unpledged promoters. Zero promoter pledges means extremely minimal leverage risk. It shows that management has serious, real skin in the game, and they aren't taking on dangerous debt against their own shares just to fund operations. It's a very, very stable capital base. Which brings us to part 5, the road ahead, bridging the gap. So what's next? Well, management's absolute primary focus right now is accelerated execution. They have the orders in hand. Now they just need to scale up their new, highly automated industrial production lines. They have to bridge the variance between that active order book and actual physical quarterly fleet dispatches. The entire long-term secular growth play for this company completely hinges on transitioning that extensive 8,200 crore rupee pipeline into actual realized cash flows. At the very same time, they are pushing hard for higher domestic localization, basically making more parts right in India to minimize component input costs and aggressively defend those profit margins. Now, before we fully wrap this up, I do want to state this disclaimer very clearly. This explainer is intended solely for educational purposes, to help you understand the source material. It absolutely does not constitute investment advice. Investing, especially in small-cap or mid-cap stocks, involves significant risk, so please always make sure you conduct your own due diligence. And that brings us to our final thought. The stage is perfectly set, right? The government mandates are there, the order book is completely full. But as India's public transit goes fully electric, can Olectra seamlessly convert its massive 10,000 bus backlog into realized cash flow? Or will the inevitable physical hurdles of scaling up manufacturing slow down its momentum? It's a genuinely fascinating execution story to watch unfold. If this explainer helped you understand exactly how Olectra is engineering India's green mobility shift, make sure to share it with your friends, family, or colleagues. Let's keep the knowledge flowing, and I will see you in the next one.